Hello, everyone. Dr. Vicky here, speaking to you from the Seeds of Transformation Healing Center. I'm here with Ona. Hi, Ona, from Ona.
Hey,
And we're here because why? Because it's time for moon shadows, moon shadows. We have a new moon in Sagittarius coming up on the 12th of December, which means that it's also part of the 12/12 portal. Why not?
you know what? That I'm so glad you said that because I sort of even skimmed over that. It's 12/12.
Hmm.
The day of 12/12. And it's a five of wands energy.
That's right.
Sag, sag, sag. Fire, fire, fire. Right?
Well, certainly fire, fire, fire. Absolutely. And with Sag, sometimes it's fire, fire, pants on, liar, liar, pants on fire. So we might see a few pantaloons go up in smoke with this new moon. Yes.
I would expect so because Mars is close by, sort of, you know,
In, in, inciting, inciting and incendiary. Mars in
incinerating too.
generating Mars and Sag.
Yeah.
And this new moon is on Trump's moon,
You know what? That's interesting. So we're talking just briefly about like what I'm smelling. It's like refining, but it's incinerating. That's what it is. It's incinerating.
Yes.
That's what I smell. That's what this moon is, I think,
Yeah.
coming in to tell me.
So I guess maybe we need to burn some stuff this full moon, yes.
That's what you do when you get rid of stuff you don't need anymore,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. And with Sagittarius, what would you imagine like are some of the things that need to go
I
with
think I would
Sagittarius?
break down. Sorry about the traffic out there. I think I would write down on a piece of paper what I need to let go of. And it could be like it'd be like a personal thing. Like I need to let go of the idea that my refrigerator always needs to be full because it doesn't. Right. And we're worried about the suffering of other people and stuff. So it's something that you maybe obsessively think about or something like that. I would write it down and incinerate it.
Yeah. I think that would be a good, and you could do that, actually you could do that before the new moon or during the time of the new moon. Let me, if it's okay, I'm going to pull the new moon up so we can
Yeah.
sort of see the whole thing. Okay, let
And
me,
please do a safe burn.
yeah, really. Oh, but they told me I should burn everything down. Yeah, we'd probably get in trouble for that, right?
Yeah. Not like you want to burn your car because you think public transportation is the way to go. Like, don't do that.
All right. So, oh dear, I don't have a time on this. Do you have a time on the
I do. I do. The new moon occurs at 5:31 Central Time, so it would be 6:31
6:31? Is it PM or AM? Oh no, wait, I already
p.m.
know. PM. Yeah, I should know that by seeing where the sun is. So this, of course, is the chart for the United States, for Washington, D.C., just because that's the country we live in. So this is Eastern time here. Um, and we can see that we have the new moon at 21 degrees of Pisces, excuse me. Ah, if only. Um, Sag. And it's actually creating quite a combination here. We have the square to Neptune, which is the energy that you just spoke to. And
Yeah.
something we have to take into consideration as the month progresses, we have, of course, the moon will probably square Neptune the same day. And then a few days later you have the sun, and then eventually Mars is going to come around and square that Neptune. And whenever Neptune is involved, we know that there isn't a whole lot of clarity. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's important to put your intentions out always for the new moon, but you may not be able to see. how you're going to get there.
Yeah, you
Right?
got to take a leap of faith in the Sag section, like just kind of take a leap of faith,
Yes.
right?
And we also have an inconjunct to Uranus. So there's that. Actually, the only transpersonal planet it's not really in relationship with is at this point anyway, is Pluto. Everything else it's connected to. And also Eris, if we included Eris, because Eris is at about 24 degrees. So Eris is sitting right here, would be trining this new moon. And of course, we know Eris is an energy of um, revolution, right? And
Yeah.
bucking, sort of bucking the system. So there's definitely bucking the system energy within this.
Even though it's like the Five of Wands day, the 12 in number 12 and 24 Neptune degrees, the 12 is super dominant. Like this is a big 12 harmonic portal, right? It's right. I mean, I don't know how else to, it's got a big pull.
Well, there's a lot of stuff like in the 20th degrees of signs, right? We have, well, Uranus is almost there in conjunct this, Uranus and Taurus in conjunct this new moon. And the new moon is also sextile the south node. And we have a yod with Uranus. And Uranus really is about individuation. And so when you, if you personally have a Uranus and a Yod in your chart, you're going to feel out of step with other people. You're going to feel like on some level, maybe you're from a different planet. So you might actually be feeling that at this new moon, just in general, that you're like, what planet am I on? This is not something I recognize, possibly. But
Yeah.
I think with the Sagittarius energy, it really is about vision, and it's about pointing your bow to the stars and letting it go, letting at your arrow fly. I think there's a certain amount and I think that's part of the a leap of faith you spoke to, right?
Yeah. And getting close to the galactic core too. So
Yeah, yeah,
otherworldly, anything that seems otherworldly.
yeah. I think Sagittarius has that natural otherworldly vibe anyway,
Yeah.
right? But the ruler of Sag is Taurus, right? And Taurus is usually, the ruler of
Jupiter.
Sag is Jupiter in Taurus, and we have it opposing Venus in this chart. So there's a real sort of perspective on um, love and what we believe and life and death with Jupiter and Taurus and Venus and Scorpio. There's a lot of interconnectedness here. I like the symbol for the Sag moon. It says a child and a dog wearing borrowed eyeglasses. The use of imagination and make believe in anticipating higher stages of development,
Yeah.
learning through imitation. There are a lot of what you learn in like practice building when you're out there in the world. As a chiropractor, I had to take practice building classes because they don't teach you how to run a practice in school. They just teach you how to be a good doctor.
Mhm.
And you can be the best doctor in the world, but if you can't run a practice,
Yeah.
you'd be the best doctor that no one's ever heard of. So, especially with chiropractic, because we never had like hospitals or any institutions that we could, like medical doctors can. So it's a little bit different. It's much more sort of by the seat of your pants stuff. But it is this idea of acting as if. And so you act as if you have wealth, you act as if you have, and what it does is it keeps you in a positive mindset. And when you have things that sort of come up against what you are visualizing as your future, you try to figure out how it fits into bringing you to the next step closer to your future. So it's like always like sort of having that far off star focus, right?
Yeah.
As you would with Sagittarius. So they say shoot for the, what is it? Shoot for this moon, because if you miss, you end up in the stars. I think there's an expression,
Oh,
right? I've heard that expression. And then if you look at Taurus, which is of course, I looked at Venus, no, Jupiter as the ruler, and it's at 7 degrees of Taurus. And it says the woman of Samaria at the ancestral well, the meeting of the traditional past and the creative spirit pointing to the future. The meeting that introduces into the collective situation a totally new factor which transcends it. A new quality of being is revealed, which renders old patterns obsolete. So you had said that you felt like there was a big change coming, right?
mm-hmm,
Yeah.
mm-hmm,
So this
mm-hmm.
is part of it. We're really, the end of this year, I think, has been a real another eye opener for people, that, and we're seeing things that we don't understand. We're seeing things that we don't understand why they're happening, and we're informing ourselves. And if you have good sources of information, then you're going to get what you need to know about it. You have to be discerning, of course, about where you're
Yeah.
getting your information, but we are on a new trajectory. I actually like saying we're already there. We haven't caught up yet.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
The accessibility is helping us. Like
Yes.
it'll be more accessible,
Yes.
you know?
And more people are awake. You can. I've been saying the same things for years and years and years, and people are like they don't know. Now
Yeah,
you say it, and people are like, "Oh yeah." So it is changing.
yeah.
We really only get, you know, when we look at like what's being officially like said, we only hear what people like Elon Musk is doing. We don't hear about what the little people are doing. And it's a different thing. It's just a different thing.
Mhm.
And we be the little people. We're the wee folk. We're the wee folk.
I'm-
Um, do you want to say anything about this chart, or I'll just pull it down? And is there anything?
Um, I think just pay attention to those things that where those numbers pop up, the 12s and 24s, right? And
Yeah,
I think the moon moves into Sag, what day?
the moon.
Monday. Monday morning. So there's time to think about what's coming up.
Right.
There's time to think about what you need to, what it is, an old obsolete pattern.
Right. Right. And we're still as we do this, because we're doing this on Friday, the 8th, right? We're still in the Scorpio new moon lunation. And
Yeah.
of course, we know Scorpio is about like a death and a rebirth. And when you get into Sag, like is this feeling of tomorrow, I love you tomorrow. Like that's to me like a Sag energy,
Yeah.
that you sing when you're in the midst of Scorpio. And then when you get out of Scorpio and you're into Sag, you're like, okay, here I am,
Yeah.
and it's like we're coming out of a deep dark tunnel with hopefully some vision and better understanding of who we are.
I hope so. I hope so. We will. You do every time, every season. And it's time for there's like a meteor showers and stuff. I mean, I have this feeling, I say this all the time, but it's really gonna like there's gonna be real evidence of it. We're gonna see things that we didn't think we were ever gonna see.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I think they've always been here, but we're seeing them because now we have it's like you have to have the matrix around it in order to see it. You have to be able to recognize it. And I think that yeah, we may be having some, actually the other night Michael had something of a visitation, I guess,
Yeah.
with he had there was a bright light like right like where his head was at on the bed. And he got up and he looked, he thought it was the moon. And when he looked, the moon was like in a different part of the sky. And he looked, he said over the office, there was this big light and it was shining into his room. And he didn't want to tell me because, you know, that's like a crazy thing to say in the middle of the night.
No,
But
no.
that night, that same night that he had that experience, I I was having some personal doubts about stuff. And so when I woke up, I was sort of like, my first question was, can I really do what I want to do? Right. There was something I want to accomplish. And I just, if you look at the way things are right now, you might say, I don't know, that's kind of a long shot. But of course, isn't a long shot everything about Sagittarius, right?
Mhm.
And so I laid there and I'm like, can I really do this? And I checked my phone and it was 3:33 in the morning. And then I heard Michael stirring and he got up because he had gotten, I don't know, whatever, visited by
Yeah,
my
yeah,
son.
yeah.
He's actually seen craft and things like that, and they've followed him and in different situations. I wouldn't say he's ever considered himself, abducted or anything like that, but
Mhm.
he's seen stuff that he can't explain, but
I
you
have too,
yeah.
yeah. And I don't think, and when somebody comes out with a study, you're like, oh my God, I could have told you that a long time ago. I think it's going to be kind of one of those things
Yeah.
where, if you haven't even thought about catching up, the Sag is about stretching your belief system,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
We can't believe like we used to because it doesn't really work anymore. There are some things in the ancestral well, right,
Yeah.
that are useful, but things change. You're going to get slammed into the next universe, and it's going to be painful. If
Yeah.
we recognize it, I think it's good. So really, I think the burn is a good idea for
Yeah. Yeah.
Sag Moon.
I was thinking about what I wanted to put on my altar. And my first thoughts were sodalite for the journey, because Sag is about journeying. I mean,
Yeah.
and it isn't even a journey you have to leave the house for, right? You could journey all over the place just in your mind's eye. So I like sodalite. Turquoise always for
Yeah.
Sag. It always seems, yeah, that's why I wore
Yeah.
it.
Sage is about turquoise to me is longevity and ancestors. It's like the ancestor is impregnated into the rock, right? And for ones that you can't see through, that density, it's like even more filled with story.
Right, right.
And Sag is very ancestral to me. It's a lot of stuff from the past. It could just be because I know I've got Mercury floating around in there. It
Oh,
just feels
you have a shit ton, if you don't mind me saying, of Sag.
yeah,
Right. And it's
yeah,
all there in your seventh house with your south node. So isn't this new moon on your south node?
I believe so. Yeah,
Yeah, I think your south node's like at 22, maybe.
yeah.
Yeah, well, that's interesting. You might have a sudden remembrance of something to bring forward into this life. We know you have a shitload of knowledge that's just waiting to be disseminated.
There is stuff like just from doing a few things that I'm remembering, like how I used to put things together. And when I used to live down here 30 some years ago, what my apartment looked like, because I did all the street fairs and all the art shows and stuff like that. And I'm like, it's starting to look like that again.
Good, good. We're happy to hear that because we love we love get bearing witness to your creativity. Not to mention all
It's
the
hard.
cool stuff that comes in the mail to me. I'm not, not that I'm asking, I'm just saying.
Oh, just wait. Just wait. Yeah, it's crazy. It's a small space, so you can't like close the door on a mess and say, okay, I'm gonna visit that later. You
Right.
visit it again in about 30 seconds when you turn around. So It's, you know, you gotta constantly clean up after yourself. I can't let it get out of control. So easy to.
Yeah, well, sometimes when the creative juices flow, what can you do, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, so that's what I would say for. Do you have any cards there? You want to pick a card? Pick a
I
card in.
have, what do you have?
I have a plant oracle. I have what do I have? I have some tarot decks. What do you have?
I have the Colette Baron Reed animal spirit. I want to
Oh
pull
yeah,
animal,
definitely pull one of those.
put an animal for the Sag, right? And
Yes, this
then
is for
I
the
also have
Sag
this tarot. Have you ever seen this tarot? Does it backwards on your screen? The Sacred Web.
No, it wasn't.
Good, because I got it for you for Christmas and I'm waiting.
Oh,
You're gonna love it.
love it.
You're
Okay.
gonna love it. It's a really cool deck. It's so peaceful and just it's got so much
It'll
energy.
be the deck for 2024, the peaceful deck.
Truly, you feel like that. It's really, really good deck. Really awesome art.
All right, I'm picking one, you're picking one. So I'm picking from the Soulflower. And it's interesting because Sagittarius does rule the wild places. So you're picking an animal and I'm picking a plant. Fauna and flora.
That
Whoops.
is a centaur, right? It's
Yes.
all it's part animal. It's the honoring and the respect of. Ooh, and you just
Okay.
bounced.
One flew right out of the deck, so we're going to use that one.
Yep. Same.
Ooh, wolf.
Wolf spirit, turn knowledge into wisdom.
That is so Sag.
It literally knocked itself out of the deck.
That's very interesting. Okay,
Wolf spirit.
I got pansy. You pansy?
Oh,
Resonance. That's what it looks like.
yeah.
And I'll read what it says once I take my glasses off. Allow pansy to instill a sense of stability and safety in your heart and to release fear and anxiety. Ease into an understanding of your own heart's deepest truth. This flower is often called heart ease pansy, since only with direct connection and resonance with your heart will you know which path leads to joyful fulfillment.
Mhm. You know, it's one of the first flowers you plant in the Midwest. It's the spring
Yep.
bucket of pansies. And it's also one of the last ones in the fall because they're so hardy and they're edible.
Yes. Yes. You can put them in your salad. So
Mhm.
resonance, that is the energy for this Sag moon.
Yep.
So once I get my thing together, I'll put it up. I'll put a picture up for
Yeah.
the community page and you put it on your community page, yours.
Yeah.
So yeah, and if anybody has any experiences they want to share, you can always share them in the comments, right? With this new moon and Sag. So is there anything else that comes to mind for you that we haven't yet
I
covered?
think the month of December, and I'm just getting a like, nudge on my shoulder kind of thing, is the month for Saint Mike, Archangel Michael is
Oh,
December. Is that right?
I don't I
I think
not
so.
that I don't know, it's possible.
I think so. I don't know. I'm
Well,
not sure.
we're gonna
What are you
declare
saying?
it the month of Saint Michael. Heck,
It's gotta be. And it's a it's a time to not just tune into your regular everyday guides who help you put your shoes on, but it's a time to tune into even the higher realms are given messages,
yes, definitely.
not just the ones that we're used to whispering in our ear every day, but he's saying like archangels are talking now. to
Yeah.
you.
Well, we're in a way, we're sort of collecting ourselves for the next challenge ahead, and it's going to require a whole lot of light. And so we have to make sure that our vessels can hold the light for this. And Michael's always a good, he's kind of the ringleader when it comes to circles of light and the like.
I feel like he's a December. I don't know why. I don't know
Well,
why.
he obviously wants to be, so we wouldn't stand in the way of that, would we?
I could use it.
Yeah.
I could use the help.
All right. Well, and this and Archangel Michael is also the patron saint of Kiev and the Ukraine, so I think that's also to keep them in our hearts. And of course, what's going on in Israel and Gaza, which is, you don't have to look at it. You don't have to see what's going on every day. You don't have to traumatize yourself, but you have to be aware that, we need to be aware and then to do the best that we can in the situations we all find ourselves in with a mindset or a heart set to finding peace in a very disrupted world.
Yeah. Yeah.
But this month, when you add the month in the universal year, is the sun. It's a 19-1. So in the nature of the vibration of the month is a new beginning and a turning away. It's a going in a completely new direction.
Yeah.
And boy, let me tell you, do we need a completely new direction or what?
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
coming.
Yeah, yeah. As I said, it's already here. We just haven't caught up yet.
That's right. We will.
Damn it, we will. All right, so the next time I see you will be for our moonshine episode. That one is happening. When is the full moon? The full moon is the day
The
after
full
Christmas.
moon, yeah, it's right in the Christmas corridor there.
Yeah.
And
In
happy
Cancer.
Hanukkah to anybody who's celebrating Hanukkah. It started last night, so happy
Oh,
Hanukkah.
happy Hanukkah, everyone.
Uh,
All right. Well, it's a powerful time to be alive.
yeah,
And as always, I'm so thankful that we get to spend this time together.
me too. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you.
All right, I'll see you in 2 weeks. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Or you'll see us before then, I'm sure. But officially for the next phase of the moon, our moonshine phase. And we'll see how right we were so far.
Yeah.
All right, guys, take care. Much love. We love you.
Bye-bye, guys.
Namaste.